Good morning, class. My name is Matthew Pines, and this is my personal narrative speech. Being raised as the youngest of 3 kids has always had its advantages. I like to think I've gotten away with a little more than my 2 older sisters have when they were my age. Not that I could get away with anything and everything, but I've definitely pushed my parents' boundaries a time or two. My 2 older sisters have excelled in everything they did and continue to do so today, or at least that's what I thought. During my kindergarten and first grade years, it was difficult to see if I was trying to push my teacher's buttons like I did at home or if I was truly struggling. Very early on, it became clear to my parents that school, reading, and visualizing certain topics specifically would be a source of struggle for me. After the first grade, it was clear that I was just skirting by and truly had difficulties with learning to read and visualizing simple math problems. My parents then turned to professional help, where I was diagnosed to have dyslexia and a visual processing problem. I was pulled out of the only school I had ever known and enrolled in a special school that would help me work through the problem at hand. To say the transition was hard is an understatement. I had no friends at this new school, and the format in which things were taught was a major adjustment. I could say that I rebelled a time or two and got sent to the headmaster's office more times than I would like to admit. It wasn't until then that I learned my sister had similar difficulties. One afternoon, she came along with my mom to pick me up from school. We went for ice cream, and that is when she told me that around her age, she was diagnosed with something similar. She explained to me that she decided to not let this define her, and make her best at the private school she was at, and she was attending that private school since she was 3 years old. It was never easy for her. On top of school, she had to go to a special tutor for 4 hours a day, every day. At that moment, she was about to enter high school and hopefully college after that. I'm happy to report that she graduated high school and went on to a great university where she graduated on time as well. I took my sister's words and decided to not let dyslexia define me either. I turned my view on the new school around and worked hard in order to join my friends back at a mainstream school in 2 years. From time to time, I would struggle at my mainstream school and still had to be part of a special curriculum to make sure I never fell too far behind and received the help I needed when necessary. It was always a team effort with my family. When my older sister would come home from college, she would sit down with me and help me with whatever I needed. When high school graduation day arrived, it was a big day of celebration for everyone in my family. I had completed one big step. The next would be graduating from college and receiving a degree. I'm still working on that part and hoping I can graduate on time. But if not, I'm doing the best to do the best I can. My family has never seen my disability as something to be pitied. They have always told me to do my best, and my best will get me where I want to be. If my sister can graduate and become a professional, then I can too.